Right, muckers. Well, since I did my classic combining video back in the summer, a lot of people have contacted me and asked if I'm going to do any more combine videos. And that got me thinking back to, well, it'd be the early 90s when I was down on the Isle of Sheppey in Kent driving a Case International 1680 Axial Flow combine. Now, the Axial Flow was developed by International Harvester back in 1977. So where a conventional combine would have drum and concave and then up straw walkers, the Axial Flow concept was to have one big longitudinal rotor to do all the thrashing and separation. Now, back then people would say that, you know, oh, they're not as good as a conventional combine and they smash all the straw and this, that and the other. But International Harvester, who then obviously became Case IH, stuck with this concept and have done right until this day. Leap forward to where we are now, and the majority of the major manufacturers offer, in their larger size combines, a rotary designed combine. So International Harvester, as I said, then became Case IH, must have known what they were on about all those years ago, and they stuck by the guns. So I thought, why not see where Case IH have taken that concept and where they are today? Right, well, I'm here with Rob from Starton Tractors in Twycross, and yeah, these have come a fair way, haven't they, since 1977?
Yeah.
Everyone used to, you know, other manufacturers would mock this whole thing and, oh, this, that, but they've all got an offering really now, haven't they, of a similar design, haven't they?
They're all catching up. They've all followed where Case has been going for, since the 70s.
Yeah, 77, wasn't it? I think it was the first international one.
Yeah.
Yeah, got leather seats. Very nice.
Nice leather steering wheel. All moves and tips and does. And nice display and screen.
Let's have a look at this.
Yeah. And we've got, I'll let that just power up. But we've got all the controls that the operator's using for the header and the spout.
So it's basically all in one place then?
All in one place, yeah. And then you've got like your rotor on and off, your feeder on and off. Both have reverse, so rotor has a reverse.
All right.
Yeah, that's something that I'm not sure whether it's the only combine these days, but there aren't many combines with that. There's the odd thing up here.
Oh yeah.
You
got your radio and stuff, and then you got all of your heat and kick and con and whatever.
That makes
a light in the middle there.
Yeah, that's it. And a great big window in the back, so when you've got your fantastic sample,
oh yeah,
you can.
I tell you what, this window as well. That's quite nifty.
Yeah, you can clean it
because that.
Yeah.
Now, rather than having a stick with a piece of rag rammed on the end, going in between the tank, you can actually clean this. Yeah. Here, clean that.
Yeah. Shut it. See everything.
Shut it all up, and
then when you're making a real mess.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Oh, you can just avoid seeing what you're doing.
And your day goes by a lot quicker.
It does, yeah.
So no, it's good.
You've got your display there, it's all quite clear.
Display, yeah. This is a feature I like. If you've got difficult conditions, you can pull it off there, see your header.
Oh, you can still see right down there. Yeah. It's not in your way.
Yeah.
And I say the view out the front at the actual main event is very, very nice.
It's good, yeah. You can sit here with your head back and see the night.
That's what I was thinking as well. And you know, like when you're sat in the driver's seat, I was sat there earlier looking at this, is the pillars. They're not right at the edge and give you a blind spot. They're sort of, when you're sat in there, they're there, so you can see all that section at the end. Yeah. You can see everything in the middle, and you can see all the section at this end as well. Yeah. They're really well placed, aren't they?
There's only about 3 fingers worth of knife that I can't see.
Yeah. Right, well, let's get in and have a look at this. Get another look out here, so we can have a... Ah, that's better. Now.
So what we've got in here then, that's a small tube rotor.
Yeah.
So Axial Flow, I've always had one single rotor.
That's right.
And at one time, it had a sort of a straight rasp bar, pretty much like you have in a conventional combine. Whereas over the years, they've put less rasping in there, in the nature of the blocks. So
yeah, because I just looking at this. This is different to that Axial Flow I drove.
Yeah.
These have got like big sort of, almost like say club,
like a fist
on them.
That's right.
Yeah. So the one I had, as you said, actually had bars. Yeah. Right, because these. Look at this. This is the type of rasp bar that I had on that the older one. I think it's about an 1988 model. I think it was.
Yeah, 1660.
1680. Yeah, 1680.
80,
I think,
yeah,
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
So that's that. But as I said, this is totally different now. With you've got these.
That's
and
right.
they're like say a club or a fist, and
that's right. Well, what they've done is when this was in the rotor, it's sat horizontally.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. And this isn't one out of an axial flow, but it's that sort of idea.
thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And the central tube was a bigger diameter, making a smaller area for the crop to be in. So what they did when they launched this later generation of combine, they took a lot of the rasp bars out. They put fists in, and they made them deeper. So there's a lot of room there for crop. And they rely heavily on crop thrashing.
That's the thing, is it? Because you know, most other ones, what you'll find is that it's a mechanical action of the actual that part and that part that rubs the grain out of the thing.
That's right.
Whereas these, it's a lot softer because it's the actual crop against the crop.
That's right. Yeah.
Doing it, not so much relying on that, is it?
If you look at an axial flow, very little wear takes place in this rasping area.
Right.
A lot of it's done here with the crop and on the face.
Past, is it?
Whereas if you look at traditional older combine or conventional combine, a lot of wear takes place there because the gaps are a lot tighter.
Yeah.
Particularly if you've got debris going in.
Yeah.
So if you've got stones and things,
a
lot more tolerant than the convention. So another thing you can do to make it more adaptable to different crops, you can put different rasp blocks on. So if you just pass me that block there, this has an angle on the side here. You can get 10 degree and you can get 28 degree.
Right.
So if you're a customer that favours your straw and want to look after your straw more, you can put 28 degree rasp blocks on. That will mean there's less rotations of the rotor, so be kinder on the straw.
Right. Because that was always a big, as I said, that was always the big thing everyone used to bandy about them being so hard on straw, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But
you might sacrifice some output.
Yeah.
So there's always a bit of pull and push.
I think with anything, there's always a compromise. You've got to tailor it for what you want.
Yeah.
Let's just say we want to swap these front two sections, which will be two this side, two the other, so 4 sections.
Yeah.
How long would that take roughly?
Probably half an hour from start to finish.
Quick as that.
Yeah, but if someone's got all the bits here and they're handing them to you, they'll be quicker. Yeah. You see more and more of these guys using these little rattle guns.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a fan of that. Yeah.
It's these two nuts and bolts here. You just whip them out, literally pull the concave out. They fit on dowels down at the bottom, so there's nothing to be done at the bottom.
Just push there, them two up, you're away again.
Yeah, next one in, job done.
Yep. Now, is it right that from the moment that, let's just say you've got your crop at the front, if you actually marked a piece of crop, let's some stands stuff, from the moment that's cut, to coming back out the back end, it's something like 4 seconds.
It's not many seconds.
It's mad, isn't it?
It's really quick.
Yeah. So if you've got a good forward speed, you can virtually cut it.
Yeah.
You can lay it where it stood.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. When you pull out of your ends of the field, a straw walker combine, you've got to wait quite a long time.
That's what you bring it round with you, don't you?
This is your finish. By the time you sort of just pulled up and turned,
it stood where it was stood again. It's laid down. Down there, your main drive, haven't you?
Yeah, that's it. Straight down to the header.
Yeah.
No belts involved at all.
No.
Yeah, it's got a reverser, that little brass coloured block.
Yeah.
Hydraulic reverser for the header. So when you're reversing the header, everything on the throat forward is into reverse.
Oh, that's handy.
Good feature that is.
I'll tell you one thing as well that strikes me is looking at all these pipes from a maintenance point of view and repair. It's not all like a kaplunk set, as in one thing ties in the other and ties. This is all quite free and easy, because if you want to take that pipe off, you can, and that'll slide down here. This one will. They're not all. You have to take half the machine off.
Right, yeah.
This has been thought out. This has been thought out by people that have to work on them, rather than people that just sit there and design them. Right. So there's the thirsty bit. So there's where your fuel goes in.
Yeah.
Add blue.
Add blue across there.
Add blue across there.
Yeah.
So while you're filling those, you can check your air filter.
Yeah. Nice
which is there, nice and easy as well. And
Rad.
You
can open that door.
Open this right up here. Oh yeah, look, the access on that is bloody brilliant. So, it's got a cleaner on it as well in there.
Yeah, that stays clean on a day-to-day basis. You've not got to be cleaning that out too.
And if the air cleaner and the rad and the engine, we want to blow down.
Yeah, we've got a compressor system.
Yeah. There, so you can hook on and blow it all down. So that's really good.
Plenty of outlets
I like that. Now, FPT.
Yeah.
Engine, what size is this?
12.9.
12.9 litre, is it?
Yeah.
And putting out on this one, what sort of horsepower?
I think it's 570.
Is it?
Yeah.
But again, you know, that's all there, easy to see, nothing's hidden away. Again, for servicing, filter is there, and this is the clever bit, which is something so simple, but so many manufacturers don't think of this. They'll put a filter there to get to, lovely, but then they'll put loads of stuff under here, so you can't actually get anything under when you drain it down. This one has got loads of room. You can just put a pan or something under there, undo that, let it drain. Now, as far as draining the main engine oil down, you can do that from down the other side.
Right.
It's piped right through, isn't it?
Right down to the floor, yeah.
And you can virtually just put a drum underneath it, the can underneath, and just drain it straight into that. Right, so here we are now in the grain tank. That's a big old tank, isn't it? Yeah,
it's just over 12,000 litres, I think, something like 12.3, 12.4.
Is it?
Or 12,300, 12,400 litres.
Right.
Yeah. Bubble up auger. It can be operated with the lid shut.
Yes.
To put maybe a couple of ton in the bottom if you're going under some poles.
Oh right, yeah.
Good feature.
That is a good feature.
You've got these hoods over the augers.
Yep.
You can put those in different positions. There's like a spring-loaded clip at the end.
Yep.
So if you're in some dry stuff and you want to achieve the big unload rates, you can lift them up.
I see.
If you're in some wet stuff, more awkward crops, you can drop them down to throttle the flow of crop going into those augers.
Right, so what we got here, just the old returns elevator and stuff here, and
that's right. That's a tri-sweep re-thrashing unit. So it anything that the returns generates comes into this. There's 3 shafts.
Yep.
And they've got paddles on, and the paddles knock the crop against other crop.
Yep.
Which re-thrashes it in a gentle manner, and then this top one throws it back onto the grain pan.
On the grain pan?
On the grain pan, yeah. The returns don't go back into the rotor.
Right, so this one obviously is fitted with tracks on the drive.
That's right, it's the first generation of track on this model.
Okay.
Which means it has no suspension.
Oh, and the later ones do they?
The later ones, if they've got a silver wheel, they've got a suspension.
Okay.
The second generation of track.
Right.
So this track, it has a slight lead on the front wheel.
Yes.
So this wheel here is running slightly higher than the main wheels, so it'll lead up onto
always coming up
onto a bump.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the track bogie here is mounted on some rubber blocks to try and cushion the ride. That's a Michelin VF.
Oh yeah, so Gen 3 Michelin
Seria bib, X-bib,
Seria X-bib, yeah. So that's a good tyre out there.
What's happened is combine tyres used to be bigger on the back, but because they're heading for this 3.5 metres, they're putting better spec tyres on the back.
You don't need the actual overall width on these because of the technology they're using with the VF technology. The actual footprint is what's important.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, the physical tyre can actually be narrower because obviously with VF technology, the actual footprint it puts down on the floor.
Carry more weight per PSI.
That's right.
Or bar.
Yeah.
The way you want to put it.
Yeah. That's a good. It's a good little combination as well, and so having, like you say, having that plus those, you can keep the overall width down on 24 belts.
Yeah. Everyone wants this 3.5 metre transport width.
Yeah. So, like I'd said before earlier, one of the big sort of elephants in the room when you're talking about the axial flow is the old thing. People sort of saying, but they smash the straw and stuff like that. Well, I suppose back in the early time of the 80s and 70s and 80s. Yeah, there was, I suppose, with them RAS bars and whatever, they were more aggressive, but it's about throughput then, and purely that. Whereas now, with those fists and whatever,
it's kinder.
It's more variable, as we said, with the amount of stuff you can change, to suit the conditions in the crop.
You can sacrifice some output of grain production for better straw.
That's right. If you do
that's
have the
what
option,
you want to do.
That's right. But again, the whole point being that was back when straw was a lot of it was that's still done by hand, wasn't it? You'd put it into your cattle sheds and you'd fork it all out and whatever. Whereas now, where we are today, most cattle farms will run through a machine, a chopper and whatever, don't they? A straw blower. So they're using very old knowledge, really, but in a modern setting. So that's like sort of saying that the noise of the internal combustion engine will scare the horses. That's just not applicable today, is it?
It's a good point. You also have to remember that when they're putting the straw into the yards, they're wanting short straw, because short straw actually absorbs more moisture. Right. So you're using less of it.
And the other thing as well, we've got to look at min-till and no-till.
Well, that's where that Redicott chopper comes in. That this machine's fitted with, that'll lacerate the straw. It won't just chop it into short sections, it'll split the stem. Because the thing that always used to be for chopping, like you say, for incorporation, or say the min-till or no-till, was nice sort of short that's right.
That's what it was always about, wasn't it? But with this system then, so you've got the one at the end of the rotor, which you're going to get that standard chopper. If that's then fitted with that other one, that's going to hit it again. So you're not only getting a nice short one, it's splitting.
Splits the straw,
top to bottom, on end to end.
And once it's split, the rot down is a lot faster.
Well, you started the process. You've jumped ahead with the process of getting it to basically start rotting down and decomposing, haven't you? Because obviously straw having that waxy thing. When you've got it just in a like a straw, it's got a waxy seal, isn't it, on the outside? But if you can open that up, then that can actually the process can start quicker, can't it?
That's right.
I've heard of people that have actually tried both. They've tried a conventional chopper in the same season on the same farm. They've tried a conventional chopper against one of these with the ready, and they've said that the process is up to 6 weeks quicker.
That's right.
That's incredible, isn't it?
And I think if you're into soil and what the worms are doing. And what have you, it's the worms that are doing it, and they're fetching that straw into the ground and improving the soil structure a lot more than you'd think.
So, whether you're in the market for a second-hand combine, or you just want to see a collection of fantastic tractors of all makes, shapes, and sizes, Starting Tractors website is always worth a look. You don't have to get some interesting stuff on it, don't you?
Right, we hunt high and low sometimes for some oddball stuff.
As I said, you had some wonderful tractors over the years, haven't you?
There's some we wish we'd still got.
I bet. I think we all suffer from that. We all suffer from that. But like I say, go and have a look at the website, because, as I said, whether it's combines or tractors, they've always got
a lot of machinery.
Yes, you've got the other thing. They've always got a lot of machinery and all that. It's a bit like when you get those moments to yourself and you just think, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a little look at Starton's website. But I think a lot of us, that's a guilty secret.
Well, it's all up to date. What's there is what we've got. We don't advertise stuff that we don't have.
No.
And we try and, as soon as it's sold, take it off the website. So you're only looking at stuff that you can buy. And we're always on the phone to have a chat with and look at a deal.
Good stuff. Well, I've certainly enjoyed it today, Rob. Thank you very much. It's been nice to see, how the axial flow has come along over the years, because, as I said, it's a concept that International, and then Case IH stuck to their guns, and then I think the penny dropped with a lot of others when they wanted something with high capacity. And yeah, as I said, it's incredible. But I think the main thing is, it is a case of giving you the options and choice with axial flow, always has been, and throughput.
That's right, yeah.
Right, well there we are, muckers. Hope you enjoyed that. As I said, something a little bit different, and something that, well, as I said, I've enjoyed it myself, just to have a look around one, to see that although they've improved things, the concept is still, you know, relatively the same. And yeah, I think the proof is in the pudding. Anyway, we'll catch you on the next one. Do well.